Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm going to feature a replay here of a boat that I really love to play, the Leander. This is done by one of my clan members. I'm entitling this video How to Leander. It's a great replay, it's a lot of fun, and it really does show you how to play the boat well. But first, as always, I'm going to give you guys a bit of a history lesson on this boat and why it's so important. HMS Leander was launched in Devonport in September of 31. She was commissioned in the Royal Navy as HMS Leander in March of 33. Eventually, in 1937, in August, HMCS Leander, on a journey from Europe to New Zealand, carried out what's called an aerial survey of different islands in the Pacific to claim for the king. There's no one on these islands, but we claim them, and they literally left a sign to that effect. In 1941, New Zealand Division became the Royal New Zealand Navy Leander, and she was commissioned as HMNZS, that's Z, Leander in September of 41. In World War II, Leander served initially in the Pacific and Indian Oceans. Commander Stephen Rockwell was posted as the ship's executive officer in 1941. In action in February of 1941, she sank the Italian armed merchant Rambo 1, almost like Rambo, near the Maldives Islands, rescuing 113 of her crew and taking slight damage herself. In March of 41, Leander intercepted and captured the Vichy French merchant Charles L.D. in the Indian Ocean between Mauritius and Madagascar. In April, Leander, April 14th, deployed for support of military operations in the Persian Gulf. And on the 18th of April, joined the aircraft carrier Hermes and the light cruiser Emerald, her sister ship basically. On April 22nd, Leander was released from support duties in the Persian Gulf and took part in the search for the German raider Pinku, south of the Maldives. In June of 41, was transferred to the Mediterranean Fleet. This boat gets around a lot if you see that. And was active against the Vichy French during the Syrian-Lebanon campaign. After serving the Mediterranean, Leander returned to the Pacific Ocean in September of 41. All that in a couple of years, basically 1 year. In July of 43, Leander, with Rear Admiral Wally Lee Ainsworth, Task Group 36.1, of 3 light cruisers, Leander and the 2 U.S. ships, Honolulu and St. Louis. The task group also included 10 destroyers. At 1 a.m., the Allied ships established radar contact with the Japanese cruiser Jinjitsu, which was accompanied by 5 destroyers near Colombangra in the Solomon Islands. In the ensuing battle of that Colombangra, Jinjitsu was sunk and all 3 Allied cruisers were hit by torpedoes and disabled. So, sink 1, damage 3. Leander was hit by a single torpedo just after the A boiler room. 26 crew from the boiler room and an additional 4 crew members were killed from the number 1 4-inch mount gun immediately above. The ship was so badly damaged that she took no further part in World War II. She was first repaired in Auckland, New Zealand, then proceeded to her full refit in Boston. She returned to the Royal Navy in the August 27, 1945, after the completion of World War II. In 1946, she was involved in the Corfu Channel incident with aggression against Albania and the British. She was scrapped, however, in 1950. So how does she do in World of Warships? Well, she has 3 main great features at Tier 6, smoke, a heel, and hydro. Her main armament is her 4 152mm twin-barrel guns, but with only typical British armor-piercing shells, and a range of 13.2 kilometers. They can really damage ships on the broadside. They can damage destroyers from any angle. She's good that way, and she can even do good damage to battleships if they give a broadside. Those guns have a 7.5 second reload. This, along with her sister ship up to Tier 7, the Fiji, are being nerfed soon by Wargaming. That's kind of bad. Her health pool is decent at just almost 29,000k. However, the heel is very British, and it gets you 172 health points per second. So on a 28 second heel, it's quite good. It's especially great having this at Tier 6. If you're typical up-tiered in World of Warships, her torps, typically great if you're good in World of Warships being up-tiered. Her torps are 2 single launchers, 4 torps per side, that can be fired in a spread or typical British single shot. The range is decent at 8 kilometers, and they run at 61 knots. AA is decent, and I'm going to leave that there. Maneuverability, aka rudder speed, is good, and speed with Sierra Mike flag is just over 34 knots. Concealment with camo, flags, and captain skills is great at 9 kilometers. I cannot stress how good that is at 9 kilometers for a cruiser that tier. Her air detectability, it's worth mentioning, is 5.8 kilometers, so hit the P key and turn off your air detectability if there's a carrier around. If she doesn't see you, you're good. If you get spotted, you can always smoke up and use your A at that point. The smoke, as I mentioned, is great. It's 94 seconds, and her fire and smoke penalty is 4.6 kilometers. Just 100 meters worse than the Perth, but still, again, really good. Her hydro is a welcome bonus at tier 6 with torp protection at 3 kilometers and ships at 4 km. You can actually hydro people in smoke and torp them. It's quite good. Overall, this ship is fun for operations and random battles. She can be a bit complex to play with all the bells and whistles. However, once you're used to her, the play style, she is a lot of fun and can even do very well against higher tiers. So why am I featuring this replay? I mean, it's an operations. It's defending the Raptor. So not defense Newport Station, Raptor rescue. The reason why I'm featuring this ship is I'm in the Dallas, for instance, and I'm going south to get the carrier. But what's important, if you look at the Leander, the Perth, and all other ships that are at this tier that are quite good like this, whether it be the London, for instance, it's how you play the boat. This boat, if you give a broadside, it's very easy to kill. And this is where my clan member, Mr. Lomax, or his channel on Twitch, FabulousLommax, which I'll leave a link to down below, is being very cautious. He has a sneaky suspicion, like I have, as you see my Dallas down below, that I'm going to easily kill these guys. Unfortunately, I made a mistake on the Minakazi, and I'm personally down to 152 health. So his gut tells him, and my gut tells me, the rest of the team, the enemy team, is going to spawn in the F9 position, which, spoiler alert, they do, and kill me instantaneously. But at this point, he's doing what the Leander, Perth, the London are very good at. He's going hunting for a couple DDs. This boat with their hydro makes it very easy to see torpedoes. With the smoke, if you make a mistake, you can hide in it, hide from bigger boats, and quite frankly, the guns can punish destroyers. So as you're about to see here, we're about to see some bad guys pop out. Now he's detected, and here we go. Now, even though you see his front turrets turning, it's a moot point. He's going to get a quick shot off and keep turning into the broadside. He's going to go port. He already knows that Minakazi's firing at torpedoes. And if you notice the speed, he's still maintaining over 30 knots, so he's getting the upper edge. And just like this, he completely nerfs the Minakazi torpedoes. Gone. He also knows the Mizuki torpedoes are coming, so he's going to reverse the turn. And if you look, his guns are already swinging in place. And there's the actual Mizuki torpedoes. And he easily just swims between them. Point taken. Pops in the smoke, goes undetectable. He's good. Now, if you notice down south of my Dallas, I've already taken out the carrier down there and made the mistake, and I'm heading north. I probably should have gone left towards the J line, but my bad. But at the end of the day, he sees the next ship, Kuma, puts his bow in, swings his guns over, and there goes those single launch torpedoes. Gets a couple more shots off. And, you know, real sailors don't look at explosions. But why not? These are bang on. And bye-bye. So again, good play effort here. Good cruiser, fast cruiser, light cruiser, but making sure he's in the play, protecting the Raptor and staying ahead of the game. Now, in one of the warships, the bots cheat quite a bit, so you're very lucky to get any torpedo hits. I mean, anything. This Aoba is going to slow down and then gun it, because apparently Aobas have warp speed. And yes, the bots do accelerate a lot quicker than real life or your own ships, but it is what it is. Simple. Here comes the smoke. Here comes the hydro. If the Oba lays out torps, he's good. Smoke means it's a free shot. Someone else is spotting him and doing exactly what the Leander is good at. Just keep doing damage. Now, if you notice down south where he's finishing off the Oba here, I think someone else might finish it off for him. I'm already dead. Now, at this point, Mr. Lomax, the Fabulous Lomax, is going to ask people, hey, there's 4 cruisers down there and some really bad stuff, so can I get some help? And he doesn't get it. I'm not saying those boats are going to catch up to the Ranger, but they do propose a problem, and there's enough firepower in the front. He's like, you know what? I'll go do it. So he's got to get back here and take on a much heavier force. Now, if he puts a Leander, now he's uses hydro and uses smoke, and he decides to actually stay out there in the open, that entire enemy task force of 4 ships is going to kill him. But this is where the Leander really shines. If you know how to play it, it's a complex ship. But once you master it, it gets easier. And I mean, if you already look, our Ranger's already being fired at. You can see it taking hits from the actual ships. But unfortunately, our clan members are already ahead, and they're doing what they're supposed to do. They're actually protecting the Rangers forward advance. So again, this is how you Leander. If he goes on the direct open, he's going to get killed. So instead, he decides to use the islands for his advantage. In chat, he's trying to ask the CV to give him some help. Not really. It's all good. Navy chick in the Mysore is going to go for the aircraft carrier and move the other carrier. The reason why she's doing that is that carrier will most likely ignore the Mysore and Navy chick and ignore the Bayron, which is our other clan member torpedoer, what we call him Brew. At the end of the day, why? It's going to end up heading towards Leander, that carrier, and spotting him more and more. That's not good. Again, if you're in a cruise that's a light cruiser and you can be citadeled or damaged, use your throttle like this, up and down, up and down. That was a great shot by the Oba, and it missed by 100 meters. It's where he was going to be, no longer is. So, again, good match, good work. And it missed again. These are basically defensive torps against bots. If you keep pushing, you're going to run into torps. Hydra's already up. Gun's not even looking the right way. All the torps miss. But this is, like I told you earlier, this is how you Leander. He is getting citadel after citadel after citadel. And the Oba is turning its guns way too slow and way too late. Dead. Now the Atago is actually a much larger threat. It's a more of an up-tier cruiser. It can do some severe damage. But half his shots didn't even go through, and there's still 3 citadels. The AP on this boat is fantastic, just like the Fiji, just like the Emerald at Tier 5. The Emerald has a heal as well. It's a great boat. Here he's maneuvering again to make sure. Even by proper angling, you're looking at Mr. Lomax here, and he knew these torpedoes were coming, so he's making sure he doesn't run into them. The Kuma does not stand a chance against a Leander, and the Freitaka can actually do some severe damage to him. But again, kiting away, doing the right thing. Our carrier player in chat is asking for help. This guy was not helpful at all to our team, so I don't know what his problem is. There's a what's typically shooting at him, Mr. Lomax is killing, so it's all good. But if you notice, our Ranger's getting low on health. They're still shooting at him, and that Kuma is going to be gone. And there's 3. Again, Furitaka's not looking. He did, I'm going to call it a tactical knots here. That's okay. But again, not looking. The Furitaka is concentrating on the carrier. And all he's doing is concentrating the Furitaka. And all they're doing is giving some beautiful broadside. Now he's got the attention of the Furitaka, but that tactical knots is already over. And goodbye. And Mr. Lomax not wanting to be greedy, doesn't want the enemy ship to get close enough, which is going after, again, giving him a broadside. When it comes to an Emerald, a Fiji, and Leander, you do not do this if you're an enemy ship. I know we're playing bots right now, but if you're actually in a ship doing that, you're going to die. And again, even without high hydro, good anticipation of torps. This was a really good game. This is how you Leander. If you notice, the Furitaka here is accelerating quite nicely. I can assure you, as an owner of that boat, it does not accelerate that quick, nor does the Aoba. I wish. Even with the Sierra mics for speed flags. That is about the only shot that Mr. Lomax took. That was kind of one of those, that was interesting shots. But again, he's holding on to his heel. He's got one left. He's angled enough that the Furitaka is not going to kill him. It won't even citadel him. If it hits him again, it might take an extra few thousand. You can hit his heel. But tactically, I'm going to say, great game. All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. As always, take care, stay safe, and have fun out there. Bye for now.